bad and questionable decisions being made. So here's my full thoughts on the best and worst parts of Volume 2, so full spoilers ahead for episodes 5, 6, and 7. Now, we'll get to all the crazy reveals with the Upside Down and Vecna and all that stuff in a second, but first of all, this might be the worst breakup scene of all time between Jonathan and Nancy, because I literally did not realize it was a breakup scene. I don't know if I'm dumb, but I legitimately thought this was them like fixing their issues and getting all their grievances out there because they thought they were gonna die. But no, the Duffer Brothers actually had an interview with People magazine released right when the episodes dropped to confirm that was a breakup scene. That's how you know your writing's good, when you need an interview to clarify what happened in a scene. And obviously their relationship did have a bunch of bumps in the road, but the Duffer Brothers claim the two reasons that they broke these characters up is because they wanted Nancy to be on her own and independent to be able to find herself, and they said that, hey, not everybody marries their high school sweetheart. Which, yeah, is true, but we're talking about a couple in Hawkins, Indiana in the 80s. You're marrying your high school sweetheart and you're dying with him. I'm sorry. Now, moving on, obviously one of the biggest reveals of this season was the fact that the Upside Down is actually a wormhole, aka a bridge to a new dimension, which
Hello and happy New Year's Eve as I am getting some of my thoughts out, about the whole Stranger Things Volume 2. And, thank you, everybody. I came across so many videos with, people just as underwhelmed as I was. Um, Do I think there's a big picture and probably a big payoff? Spoiler alert, sure. But I still can't help to wonder how we go from like season 4 to this. And then, if we're going to be more into the current, stuff going on, how do we go from episode 4, to like this? So first of all, before I go into this quick presentation, because it is 1:30 a.m. in New York City, and I'm one of those lucky ticket holders that does have tickets for New Year's Eve to go see the finale in New York City. So I need to get some sleep. So with that being said, shout out to Joel for providing this clip, which is my introduction. In real life, that is a 9-minute clip. It goes into everything. So you definitely show him love, follow him on TikTok, and yes, thank you. All right. So as I was saying earlier, how do we go from episode 4, season 5, down to these last 3 episodes, which is 5, 6, and 7? And first I was just like, okay, it's going to cook, right? Episode 7, right? What? So I'm not going to nitpick and cherry pick everything because everyone else pretty much did that. But I still wanted to highlight some of the things that made me go, oh my gosh. First of all, I'm going to let you know I spent $40 to see the season finale because in New York, when the tickets first came out, wow, balloons. Is that an indication we're going to be all right? When the tickets first was released at AMC, the New Year's Eve tickets have already sold out. And so I said, all right, cool. I'll just see it New Year's Day. I'm not a fan of going out in New York for New Year's Eve anyway, but whatever. And then they opened up. Now here's where the story gets a little cuckoo. Um, they're non-refundable tickets because these are food vouchers. So with that being said, let's get into this part of the segment. Updates about the finale if you're going to see it in a theater experience. So I'm from New York City, and sometimes I will represent, I'll put stuff for the tri-state, which is New York, Connecticut, and New Jersey. But for the most part, I need you to do your dual diligence. If you still want to see this in person, head over to Regal. Now Regal added this. I'm not sure if they're doing the food voucher route, but Regal does have shows. And so if you want to check that out there in key areas like Union Square and stuff, and then of course in New York, they still have premium screens like Kate's Bay, which is located at 33rd and 3rd, I think. Not too not too far from the Trader Joe's that I'm always at. If you guys watch my content on TikTok and stuff. Lincoln Center, AMC Johnson. So in other words, look up if it's playing in your area. Now, am I nervous about the finale? A little bit, because like I said, this is fundable. Like I could have just like stayed at home and talked trash online like everybody else and did a watch party instead. But I said, oh, let me break out of my routine of being home, and yeah, this better pay off. Um, and so just in case you guys don't, it's not mandatory, but I love to go to the movies with a good movie fit. So if you're one of those people that likes to take your cinematic or just your life to the next level, here are some ideas. Actually, there's a hint. Oh, actually, I took the hint out. Oh, I did have a hint of what I'm wearing. But these are some mock-ups of like cosplays that you could do based on the show itself. Like right now I have my calculator Casio on, even though the watch I'm wearing tonight is fire. I can't wait. And then you want to come in a hospital gown, whatever, the signature pink dress and blonde wig. Have fun. Have fun. Most of you guys that are watching Stranger Things are legitly young. I'm young at heart, but what I could tell you from just always living my life out loud, life is what you make it. Make it epic, have fun. And I am 99.9% sober. I don't do any drugs or alcohol. This is 100% all me. So if you're, because some people are like, do you take stuff? No, this is my real personality. um, and so Stranger Things, even the numbers keep fluctuating, could be as high as a 500 million to have produced for season 5. And so since you guys put all this money into the special effects and the actors and actresses and all this other stuff, there better be Michael freaking Jackson Thriller up in this piece. Because I remember when we had covered this recently on this channel and the I Love the Jackson channel, I had mentioned that the Duffel brothers did try to get through a Michael Jackson reference in this series a long time ago, but the Michael Jackson estate was charging a lot of money. And I'm figuring since you spent all this freaking money to produce this, then there better be freaking Thriller in there. That's all I'm going to say. Like I was going to dress as Thriller. My outfit has changed so many times for this movie fit. And my only criticism is I'm not dressed warm enough. So I did find this really cool long coat that kind of has an 80s look. I was about to go to Beacon's Closet. If you guys are still looking for like vintage stuff, you could try Beacon's Closet. Um um what's that place? Urban Outfitters, I believe, still has a thrift store. There's some really cool thrift stores downtown, super cheap. You could do references like Jaws. Remember in season 1 they had the Jaws posters, Ghostbusters, Back to the Future. There's so many references, little winks to the show. Of course, now Michael Jackson rock. Remember in episode 1 season 5 they had a Michael Jackson Rockin' Robin thing. So I hope part of the finale is Thriller, for crying out loud. So we're just going to get into some of my thoughts on my disappointment. Hey, how you doing, Nick? How you doing? Happy New Year's Eve. This year went so fast. So let me backtrack a little bit because some of you guys might be new to my face, but one of my relatives is not really sick, but sick enough to be in the hospital. They're fighting cancer right now. So, you know, I decided to see them on Christmas Day. Even though other people were there earlier, I got there, I would say, early in the evening. And listen, it got to like close to 8 o'clock. I'm about a 30-minute Uber ride away. And I'm like, I'm not going to diss my relative for this show. And it's a good thing I didn't, because oh my gosh, could you imagine, especially when someone's in the hospital? I've learned the hard way. If someone's in the hospital, you know, you never know like how the outcome will be. I'll leave it at that. So I was like, no, if someone's in the hospital, one, you go see them. And we need to make it a habit if we really love people to always be locked in. It's Christmas freaking day. And so I finally get home around 11. Oh, thank you so much. I will give him props. This man has been fighting stage 4 for 5 years now. And they are beating all the odds. So I definitely keep him in prayer. This is somebody that naturally is doing well fighting it. It just keeps coming back. Cancer's crazy. So, but thank you. I appreciate that. So, could you imagine your sick relatives there fighting for their life and you go home to see Stranger Things? I didn't. I stayed there very, very late and I get home around 11. Thank God. Now, I didn't see the whole thing that night. I passed out, but the next day I said, no way. No way. My relative was real cool because I'm far from the hospital by bus. He was like, "Oh, you don't have to go." No, I want to come. I don't want you to be there at night by yourself. Could you imagine this and your family member for this? Or some of you guys probably legitly ditched your family or left an event early to go see this freaking finale. Not finale, but this volume 2, and it was okay. It didn't suck, but it wasn't worth like hijacking Christmas for. And so this is why we have decisions. I decided, one, not to do the live watch party. You guys voted. I think it was 4 of y'all who voted. 2 said no, 2 said yes. And I'm like, watch parties can get tricky. So I was like, no, I'd have been pissed. And so these are the things that annoyed me. Let's get into it. My number one gripe was, why didn't nobody die yet? Where are the stakes, man? Remember, gone are the early days of Stranger Things when people died. Rest in peace, Eddie. Or how about Max's brother? I forget his name right now. But people died. And granted, these are not original characters. My heart was broken when Eddie died. I was like, no, not Eddie. Fantastic Four. But here's example number 1. I like to title it demonic glue scene. So I forgot the proper terminology to why the metal and stuff was melting, but it had to do with the infrastructure of the wormhole being compromised, right? So then these two do a breakup that I realized was a breakup, but some people didn't. Joey didn't, the guy who did the intro for this live, and a lot of people was like, "Oh, that was a breakup." But then, they throw the ring and magically the demonic glue stops or the melted metal stops. And I'm like, wait, what? So my opinion, as much as I love Nancy, not a fan of Jonathan's, but Nancy and Jonathan, I would have loved if they died in the gooey metal. I'm sorry. Because you had, at the time, it was these two plus Justin plus Steve. They were all dealing with this melted thing, right? And so how are all 4 of you guys coming out alive? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. And so the only reason why I said, these two gotta go. No shade to Nancy, but she's the reason why Barb died. I'm sorry, the karma's real. Barb kind of told you, hey, he's only trying to get in your pants, so I don't want to be there. Then you made Barb drink the freaking beer. She cut her freaking hand. The blood got in the pool, and the rest is freaking history. So I believe because of the karma part points, and like I said, I'm not a fan of Jonathan's anymore. Y'all should have died. I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry. We need you guys. I mean, you guys are like, the way they're treating the Upside Down, they treat it like, all right, guys, we're gonna take a vacation spot at the Upside Down, room 112. Wait, what? Like, they go there, let's do a night crawl. Like, this is like a place to be. No, baby, they got bats to stab you in the ribs, even though the bats are going now. So that's another thing. Where are all the monsters? If you guys spent close to $500,000, where's the bats? Where's the bats, man? Where's the other elements? Remember they used to have the viney things that used to choke everybody, whatever. So anyway, so that's example one on why I feel like someone should have died, and it should have been these two. Next person who should have died. Now my heart would have been broken, but it would have been realistic, right? So there were two situations you could have killed Max. Again, I love Max. Max is my, I love me some Max. So Max could have died when she was in the upside down trying to help Holly. Pick any scene, any freaking scene, right? She's teasing this guy like, yeah, you're too scared to get in the freaking cave, man. You no, you can't get me. So I was like, no, that would have been a great opportunity for him to, like, I guess, overcome his fear and freaking kill this chick. Just kill her. So of course you don't kill her there, because it's like, well, why did we keep her alive to kill her? Because you want to shock the fire out of us, and you didn't. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, I love it too. Not sure if I love it volume 2, but hey. So you didn't kill her Max here. So then you guys go, she finds her body. If I could, I make a deal with God. She finds her way back to her boo thing. There's nothing like a big old boom box in the middle of the freaking hospital with the little dingy dogs. I don't know what you call those things, the dagger dogs, or the whatever, the dogs that really need to, like, stop eating humans. And he's walking around with the boombox, and y'all don't hear the boombox? Really? So then it's like, it would have been even a smidge more realistic if you had headphones on, because they did have a jack back in the 80s. Oh, the demo dogs. Thank you, Bryson. You could have put the headphones in, but no. So now these demi dogs are deaf, I guess. And so, if I could, I make a deal with a demi dog, and y'all don't hear this? Fine. Okay, it's Stranger Things. It's everything that's cool about the 80s, the convenient coincidences, whatever. This is the 80s kind of trope. Fine. But I'm sorry. Y'all, if you wanted to make my day, y'all could have had the Demi dogs come out and see Max. And if I could, and as she's coming to like life, just have a Demi dog kill her. I'm sorry, it's just realistic. And while you're at it, kill Lucas too for carrying the boombox with no headphones. How are you so smart and yet you had no headphones? Just saying. Because honestly, from someone who visits the hospitals one time too many, when you have like media, it is a courtesy to have headphones on, not to interrupt the other patients. Now, granted, Max had her own room, maybe because she's been in a coma for a minute, but just still, it's a courtesy thing. All right, next. Third example was fine, Mrs. Wheeler, aka Bye Karen. Now, I love Mrs. Wheeler. I think she's stunning. She is like the eye candy of the show. And I say that I was like, damn girl, you are fine. But I don't understand how she's still alive. Strike one, you should have killed her in volume 1 when the demi dogs came for you, because you guys conveniently survived holding your breath under the water like you were Avatar people training. You remember in Avatar, they were training the Jake and them how to like hold their breath underwater. Make this make sense. But okay. And then she takes the wine bottle and she stabs the crap out of the demi dog. Honestly, I thought the demi dog should have been dead. But no, you decide to mess up her and her husband, Mr. Wheeler. And I was just like, okay, cool. Right? They definitely needed more death for the season. Give me at least one. So now you come out with your ripped vocal cords and you get the demi dogs distracted, you kill them with the whatever you made explode into the dryer. Now You're not dying because of the demi-dogs. You should be dying because you are still very, very weak. If nothing else, take away her voice. Something. Where's the stakes here? So those are like three. We can do more, but it's 1:51 in the morning. I'm like the last person to cover this. But you get the point, right? And thank you, internet, for letting me know I wasn't alone on this. Because I was like, is this me or this was really, really lukewarm? So those are just three of the many examples where we could have had some people die in season 5. There's still time left. We have one more episode. But let's get into another thing that drove me nuts. Where the hell's 11? Where's 11? 11, number one issue. Now, granted, they pay a lot of money per episode for her to be in these episodes. So I guess they were like, no, we trimming some money. We barely see her. And she's giving me like that jaded person at their job that just hates their job. We know who this person is. It might even be you. And so as an actor, like from a like looking her perform this season has been so heartbreakingly wow, like bad. 11 is the number one reason, not the number one, one of the key reasons for this show being greenlit for so many seasons. You feel her. You feel her when she screams. You feel her when she's fighting for whatever she's fighting for. This season, it's given me, hi, I want to get back to my freaking husband and kids. No shade to her. Like Bobby, no shade to you, but you look like you are tapped out, sis. You are tapped out. And I found out I'm not alone on that either. I was like, she's not the only one. We're going to call out some more people. Is it me or is she over like doing this? And then, y'all came for her cute little outfit. Listen, I don't know what I'm wearing tomorrow, but I'm telling you, I love that little short outfit. It's a Goonie reference, by the way. And for those who grew up in the 80s or study 80s clothes was unapologetically insane. I was a kid in the 80s slash preteen, and I I used to like wake up in the morning and go, what the hell is this? Especially our hair. And it felt like the media, aka, the internet then, was just basically television and TV shows, was punking us because they would tell us based on our shows, this is what's hot. And we're like, is it? And we would just rock with it. Even though we knew in real time the hairstyles were a hot mess, the colors were a hot mess. I mean, it was fun. Some of it was legitly fun, but a lot of it wasn't. That was one decade. I was like, oh, the fashion was wow. But talk about how she disappeared and wonder where she went. But yeah, and then she said, right. Oh, we definitely get into her. Can't, like, we're going to get into that. So 11 giving me that I'm so over this energy. I'm not saying this is what Bobby's feeling, the actual actress. This is what I'm feeling though. And then the fact that we barely see her. The other person that was giving me that same energy was Hopper. I was like, y'all good? It was just like, do y'all want to be here? Another person that was giving me this energy, not even season 5 for a minute, Jonathan. Who else? I was just like, And so that special chemistry, magic sauce that made, say, Stranger Things, a pop culture phenomenal is kind of like being watered down with the actors. Mike, wasn't feeling you as much. Sorry. But yeah, and I'm so kind of glad that we have people like Holly introduced, or what's his name, Derek, like, and then of course some of the side characters like Erica became a main, like had more play, and that was a good call. So Another thing, and I have to be delicate with this because in my family we have a few people that are gay, and I speak on a authority on this as well. I'm going back to not only the 80s but the 90s. New York City, which is a little bit more gay friendly than other places, especially when you start going to the Midwest. But I want you to put this in perspectives of we are in Indiana, right? It's now 1987 and Mike decides, "Hi, let's come out." And for a second, I was like, "What the hell does this got to do with anything?" And so when I first saw the scene, I remember when, right? Is it Mike? Is it Mike? Get the name right? Yeah. Mike looked at Derek. I'm not Derek. Oh my God. I think I am mixing up the names. 1 second. I do have a slide with the names. Give me 1 second. Because I said, I think I'm about to mix some names up. Mike and Will. There we go. I knew I was messing up my name. All right, we're going back. So we're back to Will. Will's right there. Mike is on the right. So Mike comes into the room and Will looks at him, and the way Will looked at him, you could tell he was like crushing on him or whatever. There's more chemistry between Mike and Will than freaking Mike and 11. Real talk. So I was just like, okay, cool. So I'm thinking, you know, the main reason why Will came out is because maybe Mike was in danger because this guy knows that he loves Mike in a different kind of way. And so the best way to get back at Will is maybe come at Mike. So I'm thinking that, he was going to come out and say, Mike, there's something I got to tell you. And honestly, it should have been between him and Mike, maybe his mom. But trust me, his mom knows. For all the people in my family that have been closetly gay until they felt safe it was to come out, we knew they were gay, but whatever. So anyhow, it wasn't that. It was just like, oh, he showed me different futures and you guys really didn't talk to me, this, that, and the third. Well, what had been more realistic is at least the way that Will was looking at Mike, he'd have been like, he knows I love you and he knows if he harms you, and I need you to leave. I need you to go someplace and don't even tell me where I'm going to. This is behind us, right? That would make sense to come out about the gay thing. And so what I do remember about being gay in the 80s and 90s, for those that knew their family members were gay already, like me, we had, actually one person I didn't know was gay, but I think the mom knew. And the other one I knew. The point is, back then, again, living in New York, it is a little bit more accepted in the 80s, but not really. But it was like usually in a place called Soho and stuff. When people came out gay in that era, like, let's say you did feel comfortable telling somebody, it still was a secret, like kind of like how Robin handles it. Like a handful of people know she's gay, but she's not out with it. Will got like the whole crew. Max, you name it, the whole crew. I'm like, okay. Still, what this got to do with the freaking the fight of the century for Hawkins? Like, make this make sense. And so I was just like, wait, what? And so Will being gay is not the issue. I think we all knew Will was gay. There was even Easter eggs in previous seasons. Remember when Max was first coming around and I think it was Mike, and he goes, it's not. So Mike talking to Will, he goes, it's not my fault you don't like girls. That was like from season 2, I think. I think that's when, no. If Max is coming around, I think that's season 3 or 4. But the point is, it was like back then. And so there's other hints that, Will doesn't like girls. For example, Will was never with a girl, never showed any interest in a girl. So that's not the issue. But I do remember that, again, being an 80s kid and from a very religious background, let me tell you, if you were from a religious background, I'm telling you a lie. Name the religion. They are going to pray the gay away, not even to be funny. They are going to put you in Bible school an extra day. Like if it's a 7-day, I went to church 6 days a week. They're going to make you go 8 if you're coming out, right? So, like I said, if someone was gay, because there were secretly gay people in my church, we never spoke about it because it just came with a major backlash, and it was almost impossible to be openly gay at all unless you live further downtown in New York. Now, I'm not the author of New York City people gayness in the 80s, but I'm just saying everybody was so PC, and we're in Indiana with this? Nah, doggy, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I don't even see the point of this coming out unless Mike's life was in danger. And then they had to get Mike away, right? Because I mean, when Mike came in the room, child, you felt the chemistry between him and Mike. I don't know if that was intentional, but it felt like 11 who? I didn't like her either, like one of those things. So I don't know. Derek did say Derek and Holly. Yeah, man, because Justin, even though he's my personal favorite, I think he's my all-time overall favorite for the show. Justin being angry about Steve dying kind of took away that Justin magic, even though I definitely like Justin very much for volume 2, way more than volume 1, because we're getting backstory to why he's upset and why he's so angry, and it makes sense down the line. He should have come out to just his friends but I don't know if that's realistic in that time frame. I get it, for crying out loud, demo dogs are not realistic either, so let's just go with it. The fact that you have 2 black characters in there and there's no racism in Indiana, let's just go with it. The only time you felt any racist undertone in the show was when Max's brother saw Holly with him, and he was like, we don't hang out with him. Like, basically you could tell he didn't want him with his sister. I don't know if that was a racial undertone or I don't want any boys around you, but it felt kind of like dog whistling, like, yeah, we don't want him around you kind of energy. But I might be putting 20 on 10, me being the sensitive black girl, but I don't know. But it just wasn't working for me at all. And so if you're coming out in 1987, it's at least in New York City, it was done a lot more discreet. Now, and to just pull it back to my family members that are gay, for the ones that were hiding in the 80s and 90s, they didn't come out until the 2000s, and one never even came out at all. Situations have outed that person. The other person, when they did come out, we were like, no, like we always knew. And then I have a younger person. And again, you kind of know these things for the most part, when they're young. And the level of acceptance to the younger person in my family, it was so different for the ones that are older like me. Like, they couldn't come out until later on in life. And to the young one, the young one got to come out in high school. But the point is, I say all this, it was just so different. It was just like almost demonized. It's still demonized, but it was really bad back then. The fact that everybody's like, okay, well, we knew. All of y'all? I don't know if I believe you, but okay. And I honestly, I don't get the point of it. That's like me just telling a whole room, hi, I'm vegan. How's that going to help us fight the most like, what does this got to do with anything? I felt like it should have been like the stakes was Mike's life is in danger because the crush is so big. The love for Mike is so big that it made him a target, and now Mike has to go. And I don't know. So anyway, it's not a big deal, but it was just done right. It was just bad. It just ugh. It felt forced. It didn't feel organic. I feel like Robin situations very organic, but this one not impressed. All right. So what we learned what the upside down is. We know that there is a bigger threat. Um we know that there is a significance of that whole November 6th, 1983 date. Um, we get some backstory to why Henry is scared of the cave. We have a feeling like Henry's going to be a real big focus for the finale. More backstory and just more to like the why he's the way he is. Um, I wasn't surprised about this being a warm wormhole. There was definitely you know indications that that's what it was. And that's what I do love about the show. Like there's everything usually comes full circle, and that's the reason why we might have 8 back into the show. So let's get into that real quick. So here's the majority of our cast. Let me see if I could blow this up for y'all. Whoops. What am I doing? What am I doing? Hold on. There we go. That I was blown up. My bad. The cast here, um, Kayla or Kylie, you can't tell if she's friend or foe. I definitely have a separate slide about that. Of course, we have Erica, Max, Holly, couple of the grown ups. We're not going to break this down. That's the whole point of me doing this presentation. Um, I don't understand how all these people are alive. And I'm telling y'all right now, if we don't have some dead people tonight, I mean the show, not like, the actors or anything or any of us, I'm going to be pissed. So, do you guys think this is friend or foe? I think she's and this was mentioned in that TikTok that even though I didn't play all 9 minutes, one, because somebody put a lot of work into that, and the whole point was just to highlight him and not take all his work. But it is convenient that she was behind that government door. She was able to escape, and now she's telling Elle or Jane, we have to make this a suicide mission. We got to make them stop, transferring our blood into, mothers and babies and try to make these, uh, powerful kids to open up wormholes and stuff. So I can't figure out, because I remember her in season 2. I really wasn't a fan of her either, because it was just like, I understand the people that was treating you like a guinea pig did you wrong, but she was just such a bad person. Her morals were so compromised. You could tell she was angry about how her life had turned out to be and how she was treated as a child, and that's definitely understandable. But it's like, remember the time in season 2 when uh, Elle and her were in the apartment of one of the people that used to torture them as children, and Elle spared his life, and she's like, "Yo, don't do that. You could spare, but you can't do." Like, pretty much, she was mad for not killing this guy, and so her morals are really bad. So it's just like you can't tell she's friend or foe. So I'm just like, I don't know if we are going to trust her to be the voice of the Suicide Squad here. And so, who do you think will die? I chose 5 people. Let's refresh who the cast is again to refresh you. Someone has to die. Um, My vote minimum 2 people. But I'm putting in a vote for 5. Not a vote for 5, but I'm picking 5. 2 is because of the internet being weird. Not weird. I feel like something leaked and then someone decided to make a TikTok about it. So here are my 5. I definitely think 11's gonna die. Um, I think if her heart was in it as an actress, 11 would be fine and safe. Everything in 11's energy, or Jane's energy, or Bobby the actress energy is like she found out she was dying and she's like, F you, I'm giving you the worst performance of my life. That was the energy she was giving me. Like she knows she's gone. Um Kylie or number 8, her only because she's like part of the, oh, it's got to end with us. All right, fine. So you're gone. Hopper, that's another one who seems checked out. I'm like, look at the people with the most checked out energy. They're probably the ones that are dead. Hopper, again, uh, he's like, let's go to the upside down. He was treating it like it was the resort in New York. No, like the Hamptons. Let's go to the Hamptons, kids. We're going to the upside down. So it felt like Hopper was trying to do a suicide type of mission. Hopper's interesting character though. He's always flashing back to his birth daughter dying, and it's still crippling him. And I do unfortunately know people that lost their children. They're never the same. Including my own mom. She lost my brother a few years ago. And people are just not the same when they lose their kids. And so I think Hopper, even though he loves Elle, he loves her so much. You could just tell Hopper wants to be with his birth daughter in his own little way. And so his motive, I mean, I'm not sure, like, he was fighting for his life when he was locked up in Russia, but from time to time he gives me like a legit longing to be with his daughter energy. And so I wonder if he's going on these suicide missions just so he could just no longer have to feel that pain anymore. I don't know, just a weird theory. Then we have Dustin and Steve. Now I don't want them to die again. These are literally my 2 favorite people. The only reason why I think it's Dustin and Steve, there was remember they got into the big fight inside the upside down, and they were, fighting, literally fighting, and then they finally get to the root to like Dustin being upset and whatever. And so they were like, oh, whatchamacallit, like pretty much saying like you're not gonna go kind of thing. Like you can tell like it was kind of like setting us up that they might go. Like if one's down, the other one's going to try to help each other. I might be reading wrong into that, but that's a possibility. And the thing that did come up on TikTok, and this is actually before I saw season 5. I don't know if you guys remember, I was a couple of days behind the launching of season 5 because I was doing a refresher of all the seasons. By the time I saw it, there was this weird TikTok implying that Dustin and Steve had died, or one of the two had died. So when I had finished volume 1, I said, oh, they're alive? Because, TikTok was being messy. So I said, well, maybe that was created because maybe from somebody from the inside knows they're going to die. So I'll only put that up based on 1, the fight that happened in the upside down in volume 2, and 2, the whole TikTok weird video, and everybody was voting which one would have to go. So anyhow, so that's my 5. And so that's the question was, who do you think will die? And then my next question is, who do you want to die? This person I want to go on for seasons now. And I think you guys got the hint. Freaking Jonathan, my dude. I need Jonathan to go away. Jonathan has been so off-putting since he was a pothead. I was just like, why are you here? How you go from being the the photographer that was being picked on by Steve and got the honor of stealing Steve's girlfriend and getting Nancy to being the pothead that we don't care about. I need you to die. I'm just throwing Jonathan in because I'm tired of seeing Jonathan. I loved how he embraced his brother, Will, when he came out the closet. And that's all I got for you. Jonathan can now go. You did your part for being a supportive brother. I need you to go. Well, this is my AI version because I was being lazy and I let AI generate this. But that's supposed to be Jonathan. Do I have a way to blow up Steve? I doubt it. Hold on. I'm gonna try something. Let me see if I can. How big can I get it? So Steve in this um AI generated picture is right next to Jonathan. So, you know, usually I do this stuff by hand, but I was like, oh, I only got an hour to put this together and I need to go to bed. And get ready for the day. I have a long day today. Woohoo. I hope it's good. I'm telling y'all right now, I'm being honest. If I don't like this freaking finale, you guys are going to see me as soon as I get out the theater. I'm not even going to wait to get home. I have a microphone and lights with me at all times. I will. Mm-mm. Yeah, I'm sorry. I had to rush it because I was just like, um, it's a lot. I have a heavy schedule. I have 4 channels, and I got my first good, I don't want to say brand deal, but my first big partnership. And so I have to work on that. And I still have a 9 to 5. And I'm not a mommy figure, but I'm an auntie figure. Basically, I'm a mom who never had kids. So it's a lot. So I apologize for it being rushed. I just was just trying to get it together. Oh, the episodes feel rushed. Okay. Um, because how this is playing out, I feel like there's no way that this is going to be resolved in well, it's supposed to be 2 hours and a couple of minutes, but now Fandango kind of let the cat out the bag that it might be 2 hours and 30 minutes. So let's say it's 2 hours and 30 minutes. You're going to fix all the problems in 2 hours and 30 minutes? I don't even understand why Will being gay has any relevance to anything. Like literally, I don't even understand that at all. And I felt like, I mean, this is redeemable though. I mean, we're not gonna like be pissed over 3 okay episodes. It's not the first time we had like okay episodes. I just think the issue is that this is the season finale. There is no season 6. I think there's going to be some, well, there could be other shows that come out of it, but I don't know if it'll be from these people because they're leaving Netflix. That's a whole different story. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Nice to meet you too. But I just feel like um I don't know. Like for example, is positioning Holly to have her own show, or now that we know that Nancy's single, she is living single. You know, she could be doing her own thing. Who knows? And that's probably another reason why they haven't killed anybody, but I'm sorry. Y'all could have killed a couple of people. Um, for example, Jonathan, I'd have been like, you know what? Like Jonathan could even went out like a hero trying to save Nancy from the toxic demonic glue. Like, I don't know. It was just weird. It's like, I unproposed to you, this, that, and the third. We knew you guys been tapped out. And as a matter of fact, the chemistry between Nancy and Steve is so beautiful. I'm actually disappointed that they didn't end up together. If I'm not mistaken, didn't she lose her virginity to Steve? Like, I don't understand. I understand why she broke up with Steve. He was a jerk, but he changed. So I don't understand. Like, ew. Is this a stream about who you think will die? No. but that was one of the questions. But if you have some picks on it was two questions. Who do you think is going to die and who do you want to die? Right? I was just like, now I did vote for Nancy to die with Jonathan as bad karma for what happened to Barb. I'd be like, no, you're the reason why Barb is dead. And then you had the audacity to lie to her freaking parents and be like, oh, it's Barb? Sorry, is Barb there? I forgot. No, girl, you know you didn't forget you was smashing freaking Steve. And then Barb was in the upside down with worms all in her freaking mouth. It was cray cray. Hey, how you doing, Mohammed? So, no. And I love Nancy. I don't even like Nancy. I love Nancy. But I just felt like, does she have moments of regret? Sure. But again, just karma's real. Like, sorry, she had to go. Rate this season so far. For me, it's 7 out of 10 so far. I'm only going to agree with you, Muhammad, because that episode 4 was popping, man. I was screaming. All right. Hello, auntie. Listen to me. Go for it, loser. Or not a loser. Actually, let me see if I could pull up. I'm not sure if I could find my reaction when we got to season 4. Oh, I forgot I'm not signed in this account. Shoot. All right. Hopefully it'll just show up. Let me see. See if I could pull up my reaction when we saw the watch party. I only did one watch party for this series. Thank God I dodged a bullet. I said, now this is how you do it. Let's see if I can find this clip. No, that's not it. I should have had that queued up. Let me see. I don't read comics yet, but I did.
Annie, are you okay?
Hold on.
Are you okay? Are you?
But I just got I moved my comics. I brought a couple of DC comics to prepare for Supergirl, and I also got the first comic of Fantastic Four. But no, I'm not a comic reader yet. But definitely getting into it. I believe people will go mad about the finale. I know the Duffers will do justice in the finale no matter what. I agree with you. Absolutely. And if they don't, I'm going to be so pissed. I spent $20 for the New Year's screening and New Year's Day. The only reason why I have 2 tickets is because they were non-refundable. But if this is trash, I'm just going to just cancel my ticket and call and just see a different movie and use the voucher for something else. Oh, that's very cool, Betty Humphrey. When I think of Humphrey, I think of that guy. What's that show on Netflix? God, we just saw it. Right? I think his last name was Humphrey. Am I wrong? I was like, no way. Let me see if I can get.
No, man.
Let me see. Where's the part where Will was willing? Oh snap! I'm asleep here. You can't. So I'm known to fall asleep in watch parties. Make this make sense? That's the reason why I kind of took a time out from the whole watch party thing because I'm so tired. Look at me sleep. This is horrible. I hate me for this. I've had some bad episodes like snoring, talking. This mean. No way. No way. No way. No freaking way. No way. Let me see. Is this the part? Oh man, I'm so used to an iPad. Was he more powerful than 11? Why is 11 Sisters here from season 2? We got. So I don't know. I remember there was one part. I should have did a short out of it. There was one part that I was like, I should have just made some shorts. I was screaming. Um it depends. I'll give you a heads up if the comic has too much like hard language or anything. I wouldn't be the best person for it, but just depends. I offhand I can't commit to that, but well, get back to me, Betty. Because I was like, it's as long as it's aligned. Like for example, I had to stop watching Peacemaker because it was just too like not me at all. So, hey, what's up, Dan? I'm doing well. I'm about to actually go to bed, get ready for the premiere or the finale at the movie theaters. I got my style by the screen. I'm so proud of me. I was going to go to Beacon's Closet and like maybe like trade in some clothes I haven't been wearing or whatever to get me some clothes. I already have my outfit. And I'm like, I found one part of it when I was decluttering the apartment. And then one of the things I was going to wear was supposed to go to donation. Something just said don't do it. So, awesome. Season 5 is okay. It's not as good as season 4. You're still on season 3, but you might cheat and jump to season 5. No, I wouldn't go that route. Oh my god, if you are in season 3, no, if you could, I mean, you could always go backwards. It's like it's not a crime. Because I'm sure you're afraid that the internet's going to mess up the whole thing for you, and I do get that. But right, if you could do it, heck yeah, marathon that sucker out. Um, but and you know what's even crazier about season 4? That's where you get those long 1 hour and 15-minute episodes. So it's going to be so hard for you to plow through that unless you have the day off. Or you're going to have to do what I had. So because season 5 was already playing, by the time I got to it, I had to dodge the internet because they were doing the most, man. I was like, what are y'all doing? Okay. All right. That's good to know. Because I was like, oh, wait, some comics are like super explicit or the language is harsh. And I'm like, nah. Like I'm more of people call me corny kind of person, but I don't care. You miss my there we go. Um I heard a lot of spoilers and it didn't ruin my experience because for me it's all how it's executed. Okay, that's good. It's a book, it's going to be suitable for teens. All right, good. Okay. So very good that you're pursuing something, tapping into your creativity. I had a weird year. It started out insanely bad. We're not going to get into details, but I actually use creativity to keep me from like going nuts. And I think that's why I've been going so hard on all my channels now. It's so crazy to be doing 4 channels at once, but I do like mainly shorts. I don't do long form like I used to. And then I might do a special live later on today, broadcasting to all 4 channels. Because New Year's is about resolutions and stuff, and some people don't believe in that, but I believe that you should have some type of goals. It keeps life interesting if you have something to shoot for, even if you don't reach that goal. It's the journey, like of pursuing your goal, that will let you know if you should still go or pivot. So I don't know. Your comment is wow. Trisha, my comment is up there. Right now I don't see no comment. Did I miss something? Let me see. I think I read everything. Let me go again. You going to the finale? That's so cool. Let me know how it felt when I come back this time. Wait. That's so cool. Let me know how it felt when I come back. Which time are you going? I'm going to be there at the main time, 8 o'clock. So, honestly, you guys will probably be seeing me all day streaming. Like, I'm going to be a pain in the butt. I don't care. Like, 2026 is going to be a big year for this channel. And thank you. Shut up. Thank you. I appreciate it. Like I said, get back to me and we'll take it from there. I don't commit to promotions, but we could definitely talk when you get closer to your goal and stuff. Like at least now everyone knows that Betty Humphrey will be having a comic. So if you guys could support her in any kind of way, um she's putting it out there. Uh so oh my gosh. I went to school for several things, Betty, and it's so funny that for the first time everything's coming together. So I went to fashion school, and I actually could make my own clothes, even though I don't do it anymore. And I work in retail still. I went to school for film and editing, and I also went to school for something else, and it's drawing me a blank. But it's so funny though, all those things all now run all those channels. Um So I was like, I never thought all my degrees would all make sense. And you don't actually need degrees, to be honest. Some of the stuff, for example, my fashion school, it was in high school, wasn't even like in college. Um, Everything all comes together. I was also a legal secretary. I was a bunch of stuff. And so it's cool. Um, oh, y'all are so sweet. I do believe in the Russo brothers, and I don't think they'll let me down for Avengers Doomsday. Uh, wait, the Russo brothers. Wait. I believe them, and I don't think. Oh, the Russo brothers. I'm thinking for some reason I was thinking about something else, but yeah. What movies are you guys excited for 2026? What movies or shows? Because if you guys are here about Stranger Things, you guys are streamers as well for like shows. Um, Show wise, I can't think of anything that I'm excited to see. Movie wise, oh my gosh, so excited. Um, don't worry about the spelling. If I see you guys are even on your phones, that's even more impressive. I was like, hey, um, shows. Actually, I'm gonna cheat a little bit and just see what shows are coming out for in 2026. Oh, House of the Dragons, maybe. The Oh, okay. So far, none of these shows I'm familiar with. Oh, the Lantern series I want to see. Spider Noir I want to see. There's a new Harry Potter series coming out. House of the Dragons, The Bears. I was right though. Most of these things that are coming out, I am not like, except for Lanterns. I don't. There's nothing. I heard Apple TV has some great stuff, but I don't have Apple TV yet. Um, The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, second season. Ahsoka. No one mentioned that, but Ahsoka's coming out next year. I'll take that back. I'm very excited about Ahsoka. Hopefully, Hayden Christensen will be there. Hi, Hayden. Oh my gosh. Hold on. Michael Jackson, that's my number one. Heck yeah. For me, it's Knights of the Seven, House of the Dragons, and Doomsday. Doomsday is my number two. And Knights of the Seven, I never heard of. And the House of Dragon, if I decide to put HBO back on, yes, that's a good one. Avengers, heck yeah. I think they're already claiming the whole premise has leaked and it's going to be phenomenal. John Campea and his team was talking about it, and I'm like, I wonder if this is just Marvel trying to figure out who the leakers are, or they legitly let it leak. I saw the Thor trailer when I saw Avatar, and I was just like, oh, I can't wait for this. I haven't thought about my movie fit for Doomsday. So usually with Marvel, I'm keeping it real. I'm very, very safe. I'll do like a Marvel t-shirt or a sweatshirt. I don't know yet. I don't know, because remember, Fantastic Four is supposed to be in there. So I just might be not lazy, but just smart and just use my Fantastic Four outfit from this year. I'm like, doing a movie fit's also about being financially practical about it. I wish I was a bigger on DC with James Gunn right now. I have no interest in Supergirl, but maybe when it gets closer to my excitement will come around. My issue with James Gunn is I don't know if you guys saw my video about the whole Peacemaker drama. If you are watching Superman, Geesh Golly, Crypto the dog, and then you go into Peacemaker, I said, I know you effing lying. I was so annoyed with it. And it was like, so I thought I got embarrassed because I was seeing like X-rated stuff. Yes, X. I'm not even calling it R. X-rated stuff. And we're doing a watch party and you guys are watching me. But when I saw it by myself, I was still embarrassed. It was just, I'm not a prune, but at the same time, like, like my whole life has kind of changed in certain things. And I just felt like I didn't sign up for porn in the form of a DC series. So I just felt like just because things exist doesn't mean they need to mix. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I don't know. It's like I hate to use this for example, but we all know our mothers are women because that's how they made us. But I see my mom as a mom, not like the woman that had sex with my dad to make me, if that makes any sense. And I'm like, yes, both things exist. That's how I'm here. But I was just like, it was just too much for me. And I gave it a shot because everyone had voted for me to see Peacemaker. And then I canceled HBO because I was like, James Gunn needs to be not censored, but someone just needs to like talk him off the ledge. I felt like Peacemaker should have not been in a DCU, but maybe like the adult category of DC or so. I don't know. My biggest fear is that kids and teenagers are going to want to see Peacemaker because they saw Superman. And I was just like, wait, why would you mix this up? It's weird. It's so weird, bro. I was not happy with it at all. Thank you so much. My glasses are from Vooglam. They're made for the computer screen, so all these lights and stuff don't irritate me. What's up, Leah? Hey sis, just got here. I stayed up until 12. I realized it drops. Yes. I'm telling you right now, if I'm not happy, I'm not going to stream in the movie theater. But the minute I get out, I'm just going to have everyone stay behind and be like, look, y'all, we are going off. Oh, yes. June. Ah. Man, Bridgerton's coming back? Yes, we are. Yes, we are. I see you rocking something in hunter green and black and silver for the Avengers. Maybe. But if I'm gonna go that route, it wouldn't be hard because green's my favorite color. I even have hunter green headphones. I have a hunter green coat because that's coming out in the wintertime. as a matter of fact, the coat I'm wearing tonight is actually this color. So I was like, you know what? It wouldn't be a hard fit. Just wear your clothes. And actually have it's a hoodie. It's kind of like Doom like anyway. But I feel like so many people going to represent Doom. So I was like, no, I might do Fantastic Four just because I love the outfits. James Gunn called Peacemaker a direct sequel to Superman, and it didn't sound very appropriate. It wasn't even appropriate for adults, my dude. Like, if you struggle with being promiscuous or porn and stuff, that was triggering. That was very triggering. Or like I said, if you're in a different frame of mind about what you want to consume in your life, and I just felt like, now granted, it came with a rated R, it came with a warning, mature, whatever it is. It did. But that, my opinion, it was soft porn. At least these 2 episodes were. And I'm like, and I'm not a prune. That I tell you, I'm not. But I just don't consume certain things. You don't want to trigger stuff. I'll leave that there. I'm just like, no. Absolutely, I'm not a prune. However, I'm the kind of person, especially when it comes to like comic book content, I do want it to be stuff I could watch with the teenagers and stuff in the house. I would never see that with my niece and them. I'd have been like, I would no, and I even have a older nephews. No, I wouldn't watch that with any of my family members. I'd be embarrassed. It feels like Gunn is making movies for himself and no one else. And it was so funny. He kept hyping up his movie like, oh my God, hold on. I don't know what I dropped, but I don't want to step on nothing. He was like he was glazing himself. And then I didn't see past episode 2, whatever, but I don't know when I stopped, but I stopped. I never saw it again. But I knew from YouTube how it played out. And then like people were just like, this is what you were hyped about? Like, stop glazing yourself. And then someone really needs to help you self-edit. Because I was just like, I felt like someone should say, you know what? Peacemaker doesn't quite go with the Superman, golly geez, crypto brand, but we could just have an adult type of thing. Peacemaker, and then have some other ratchet stuff going, and people can just separate it. Have you heard of Rival? I have, but I never watched it. Yeah. They nerfed. Hey, welcome back. They made. Yes. That was another I didn't put it in my point, but you know those demo dogs? So usually when a demo dog comes out, it comes out like a hungry wolf or like a tiger or a predator kind of thing. Why are they're predators when it's a strange random character, but when the kids are here, they're slow, they're deaf. I'm like, when you remember the demo dogs in season number 4, and they were in the prison scene, and they were just da 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 da. But now we're closer to Harper. We're gonna slow down. What? What are we doing? I can't. I mean, it's a fictional, science fictional horror show. Let's not be the, let's not over criticize. But I'm just saying, somebody needs to die. I'm sorry. That's the whole point. Like, someone's got to die. That's a perfect description of Gunn. Yes, it's a lot. Do I like Kanye West? I have my moments. I will tell you, I'll start positive. Kanye West was one of my favorite artists when we were in college. The College Dropout came out when I was in my first freshman year of college. And I remember I was late to school. This is back when CDs were a big deal, back in 2004. I was late to class because the College Dropout came out. And my professor goes, "Why are you late?" And I'm like, "The College Dropout, it dropped." And he's, J&R used to have clean versions, and that's where I used to get it. But you had to be like the first couple of people to get it. So the whole point is, like, he was the soundtrack of my college years. And then his mom passed away, and he hasn't been the same. and he needs that auntie or grandma in his life to help him navigate through life. I feel bad for him because I feel like he's a good person, but he lost his way. And I remember he started like doing the whole thing, this whole journey with Jesus, and he was getting to his spiritual roots. And then like something happened. I don't maybe, Kim and his family didn't turn around the way he wanted. And then he gave up on God, and then he got angry at God. And I was just like, dude, man, go back to church and just stay there. Because if you're ever seeking God or seeking spiritual clarity, you're going to find it's a tough walk. Anything that's worth having is tough, right? So let's say you want to get healthy. You're not going to die for 3 months and lose weight. You have to stay that way for the rest of your life. You have to go to the gym or work out or eat healthy for the rest of your life for that to maintain. Same thing with God. If you decide to put God in your life, first of all, most of the people in your life are going to think you're crazy. And there's nothing wrong with that because, you see something they don't see. And there's going to be trials and tribulations like everyone else, is that you have the understanding that it's part of God's plan. And so, no, your wife and family didn't turn around the way that you wanted to. It doesn't mean you go get the next thing that looks like Kim and treat her like she's a whore. So I do like Kanye West, but I think he needs to go back to church and find Jesus. He's lost his way, and I get it. I be having these up and down situations with God all the time. Because it's hard. It's hard to be that person. And so I hope he finds his way, man. I mean, especially when you lose someone like his mom. His mom sounded just like mine. And when I saw the documentary about Kanye West, I was crying. The way he described the whole thing with his mom and the loss and all this other stuff, I was crying. It was like losing my mom all over again. And so from one person who lost their mom to another, I believe me and Kanye are around the same age. I go back to your roots of God. Like, and I'm sorry for everything you're going through. Like between the industry, his ex-wife, the alleged things he said the industry's doing to him. I don't think he's lashing out to be random. I think he speaks truth even when it sounds crazy. At least a lot. I think he's more honest and crazy, keeping it real with you. No, I had never heard of those. Are they airing the finale of Netflix? Yeah. So for New York, we have a $20 non-refundable voucher. I'm keeping it real. If it was refundable, I would have kind of got my money back, but just kidding. I would have got at least one of the shows back. And it's going to air at the same time. Most of the movie theaters, at least in New York, will be doing 8:00 shows. However, because New York saw the potential of the money, they got 8:10 shows, 8:15 shows. I forgot to discuss this earlier. If you are in Kips Bay, 34th Street, there's another theater. There's a bunch of shows going at the same time. Please get there minimum an hour early, because remember, all of us have $20 vouchers for the concession. You're going to be late for the show. Now, the good news is if you're late for the show, just air it on your phone at the same time so you're not missing nothing on a concession. Have a strategy plan, in other words. Have a strategy plan. I haven't decided what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to get popcorn, a little bit of candy, some seltzer, and maybe some vegan chicken nuggets. Order my stuff early, so if my nuggets are cold, they still taste good. Like, I'm not gonna get my normal fries or whatever, but I'm like, I go to the theater literally every week. That concession stand makes me late sometimes, and I'm like, this is not one time I want to be late. Advice for you: don't let anyone bring you down. It gets tricky sometimes. Like, I had to isolate from literally everybody, including family, because it's like friends, family, and associates and co-workers unintentionally, and some are intentional, try to get in your head. I told in my last live on my other channel, I'm a dreamer. A dreamer speaks a completely different language from a non-dreamer. It's like speaking Spanish and English. It's a different language. You're going to learn, you're going to understand, you're going to comprehend some of my words, but you're not going to understand what I'm saying. I'm a Gen Xer. I still live my life like I'm a teenager. I pay my bills. I'm responsible. I'm even a manager at work. But when I'm home, I put my dreamer hat on, and at least I have a good track record. 80% of whatever I've ever thought it came true. And I've had some ridiculous things on my list. Ridiculous. There's a trick to this. There's a real trick to believing your own Delulu. Number one trick I can share is if put in the work, put in effort to whatever your dream is. So I would say the hardest dream for me to achieve is keeping my weight off. And it's health reasons why it has to stay off, right? So, like, my house never has junk food in it at all. Doesn't mean I don't have junk food. Only the holidays I'll have junk food. I never will put junk food in my house because that's not good for me. It triggers me. So that's one dream that I'm still working on. But other things, Leah knows me from the Jackson community. Back in the days, when Michael first died in 2009, I was like, I just want to meet one Jackson. And everybody's like, you'll never meet them. You'll never meet them. Yeah. I think I'm up to like 20 something Jacksons now. And I like talking to them, and maybe one day I hope to hang out with them just for the hell of it. But I have spoken to some of them, like we're like talk. It's never gonna happen. Yeah, right. I got into specialty schools. I taught myself how to draw in a week, did a portfolio to get in a specialized school. And I remember my mom said, you'll never do it. Yes, I did. Even with my college, same thing happened. I showed up to my best friend's interview to get into the school. It was a small film program. And he goes, what are you doing here? I said, I want to be in this program. He goes, you got a lot of guts. I got it. So, I work my ass off, though. I work really hard in real life, like really hard. So, and I'm a workaholic, so that helps a lot. And I felt way more than I succeed, but it's the journey, So, like, my goal is to be one of them cool old people that just lives their life. Like, I don't know, like, but never, if you're a dreamer, never speak to a non-dreamer. And sometimes you still can't talk to other dreamers because dreamers tend to steal each other's ideas unintentionally. Sometimes it's intentional, but I've learned if you really want something to work, just kind of keep it to your heart, you and God, and that's it. Put in the work. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, like if you're doing the whole thing in Netflix /AMSlee/ and you get caught in that concession, just make sure your Netflix account is activated on your phone. Actually, mine isn't, but I'll fix that today. And then if you get caught, going to the bathroom or whatever, just press play. Like, I definitely miss the old Kanye. I think those were even, yeah, that was his lyrics. The industry I always talk about the industry because some of the people in my life, including, I won't even say, someone that I love dearly wants to be in the industry, and I always tell them, I said, girl, know what you're getting into. Everyone changes. It just kind of comes with it. Doesn't mean you have to change, Kanye, but he did change. He was already cocky even before he got super famous, but it's gotten worse. I have a theory that the Dimmel dogs, I think they are controlled, and they know what they are against. Remember when Dustin befriended one? I think they just know their opponents. Okay, it's a good theory. I kind of want to see please do Kanye documentary, but when I almost kind of didn't want to, yeah, I would see it just because it does humanize him. Like, he doesn't always say the most popular things. Like, I don't believe that whole thing he said about slavery, and There's other things he said I didn't agree with, but it's not about always agreeing with somebody. It's just trying to get into their minds. Sometimes I don't even think Kanye West knows what he's saying. So, prayers and protection to him and his spirit. And there's a lot of like theories about Kanye. I rather not spread, but I would say pray for his protection. I think there's not the people around him don't have his best interest, at least some of the people. There's theories, and some of them are interesting. I love his blood in the Leafs era. Trisha Tips, you should be a Well, a lot of us are, if you're into comics or comic culture or even like film culture, anything with creative, you're even if you're just consuming art, it's still influencing you. So I feel like, you think different. I know adults who do not consume anything like this at all. And there's nothing wrong with it. Everyone's definition of adulthood's different. But my mom, well, I'm like my mom, who's like her dad, they were forever teenagers, and I used to love their energy. My grandfather's still alive. He's going to be, I think, 88, 89 soon. I love being around my grandfather. This is like, he's like a teenager to me, like such a beautiful spirit. And I knew when I was growing up, I wanted to be like them. Their energy is just so beautiful. And I'm just like, I want to be like that. I want to be that kind of adult. Oh, I'm going to be there super early, like super early. At first, I was going to go to Burger King and pick up a vegan Whopper, but I think that's going to make me late. Or I could order the French fries, eat those early, and then save the nuggets for lunch. I'm taking my own advice. I'm going to be there at least by 7:00. Yeah. Listen, if you want to see how depressed I am, I want you to subscribe to my Mirrors of My Mind channel. It shows what my apartment really looks like. I've been throwing away boxes for days now. Just, oh my gosh. Short synopsis of my depression. I lost a lot of awesome people very recently, for the last 6 years, and I just didn't take it well. So first I got super fat, so I got some of the weight off, and then I kept buying and buying and buying and buying. And I actually have a big apartment, but I ran out of space. And so I've been cleaning it for a month now, and I'm just like, my spirit breaks to see how depressed I got. And I'll let you guys see 80% of what's in here. I can't let you see 100 because I have to have some dignity, but it's bad. It is bad. We all go through stuff though. Everybody has a reason that we're in a deep, deep, dark energy. All of us. Some of it's from our childhood, and some of it's from our adulthood. And some of it's both. But give yourself permission to get yourself out of your own prison, right? Because that's exactly what you're in. If you need external help like therapy, or if you need my favorite remedy is actually like reading the Bible, going to church, praying. I honestly think I need a therapist though. But I used to talk to friends and family, but I've learned that because I think because a lot of bad things happen to me, I think I've burned a lot of people out. So it's just been me and God for a while, and I've actually been really happy. And I, sometimes this year I've cried more than ever. Like I said, it was a tough year in the beginning, but it was cleansing. It was so cleansing to let that all out. Like 2 months ago, I was screaming at the top of the lungs, screaming over my mom's death. And I was so mad my neighbor never knocked on the door to see if I wasn't getting stabbed. There was that kind of a scream, but it felt so good to get that out. So if whatever's triggering the depression, give yourself permission to take steps of healing. And healing takes a lifetime. It's series of little things that become big things that help you get out. And I'm still in depression, so I don't know what it's going to look on the other side, but at least I could say this is the best, worst year of my life. Like, it was a shitty year. I hate to curse, but something beautiful came out of it. So it's like, oh, okay, I'm actually doing stuff. I'm cleaning up, doing my channels. I'm going to work. I'm being a better boss, losing weight. I'm showing up for me. I'm showing up for the family. And I feel like I'm coming alive, man. I have a long way to go, though. And I hope to see you on the other side of it. But yeah. Yeah, I never show it. People would never know what's, I can't say behind me, but I would say there's two sides to everything. If it's two sides to everything, you know? But you have your good days, you have your bad days, and then you have your epically bad days, and then you have some epically good days. So no, it's crazy. Like, that's one thing that we were raised on not to get into. But I heard there's some truth in that. I love teenage energy. It's awesome to live your life like always. That's my number one. That's my safe place. Just being me. Which is childlike. Whenever I'm in adult land, I hate it. It is not me. But at least from 9 to 5, I have to be adult. Then I come home and I just chill out. Sometimes it's better to isolate yourself and ground yourself in your own activities, and too many people let you down. I did that, and I'm still learning to depend on myself. Yeah. I've had an interesting revolution with people. I think there are two different people. There are people that are intentional about being evil to others, and there are others that are unintentionally evil. I'm still trying to figure out like how to be when I come out of isolation. I'm still learning who I am. Like, this version of me, I don't even know who this person is. Like, I'm real different now. Like, it's not a fake. I could tell something changed, and I think it was just one situation too many that said I'm not putting up with no one's crap anymore. So I come off rude sometimes, but I don't care anymore because people are rude to me. They don't even care how they hurt my feelings. So I'm like, why am I being polite? People are not polite to me. I don't know. What's the whole thing with Cardi B? What happened with Cardi B? A lot of Gen Z is obsessed with astrology and zodiac signs, which is strange to me. I used to be like kind of into that, but I was just like, for example, I'll make up a sign. Let's say I'm a Gemini, and they'll say, "Oh, you match well with a Pisces," and I'm like, "No, I don't." Like, I just go by vibe. When I'm with friends or family or significant others, I think there's truth in everything. It's just, you know, like some people be like, "Oh, I can't stand this sign." I'm like, "Well, that sign gets along with you great." So I don't know. What's going on with Cardi B? What Cardi B this time? I know she's having some drama with I think her baby dad, her new one. But I didn't have a chance to get into the story. Low-key, I'd be feeling bad for Cardi B. I'd be like, damn, sis. But did she do something, or did somebody do something to her? But But I hope like I said, I'll be back online later on tonight. But I hope when you go into 2026, if you really mean new year, new me, how are you going to be a different version of yourself? And be serious. Like, take yourself serious. Like, half the time we do something for like a month and then we're over it. If you're really trying to change your life, then it's going to take a lifetime. You got to shed bad habits. You got to redo your whole life. I chose this year not to travel at all. It was the best decision for me, man. I got to clear my head, fix my money. I have one take. It's the humans have beliefs of the beliefs, some in religion, some in reality, so I don't bother. I'm talking about her music. You like it? It's okay. It's not like, it's kind of like ratchet, and then I feel like there's an audience for it, but then it's like I be seeing little girls saying some of her lyrics, and I'm like, so like I don't get on artists for what they choose. Like, for example, Cardi B was like Little Kim, and when I was younger, I used to rock a Little Kim. Do I rock a Little Kim? No. Now, hell no. But it's not my cup of tea, but it, it's not my cup of tea. But to each his own. Like I ain't got no Cardi B nothing on my Spotify list. My depression started in 7th grade when this girl I had feelings was friend zoning me. Okay. That happens. That anytime you like anytime you like somebody and the feeling's not mutual, it will make you feel a certain kind of way. But do you want someone to like be with you that doesn't feel mutual? And then like sometimes people will take advantage of somebody knowing they don't have the same feelings about you. So be grateful that that person was honest with you, because sometimes people victimize people. It's a blessing in disguise, and it's okay to be upset about it, but you don't want to be with someone that's going to take advantage of you or don't feel the same way, or like remember. No, I know this is so stupid, but remember, I don't know if you saw Wicked for Good, but there was a character named Nessa who liked somebody more than they liked her, and it was just like, you want someone to have the same excitement about you as you have, but it has to be somewhat mutual. I want to be consistent in all that yeah. And listen, if for any reason you lose track, I can use myself an example. I took a food sensitivity test from this alkaline company I'm working with now, and it told me that I gotta take more stuff out my diet. So I did what any idiot would do. I continue eating the food, and like now my skin's going crazy because it's irritating me, all this food. Now eventually, probably 5 to 10 days from now, I'm going to take everything out, get back to the gym, get back on track. I saw a video of me from a year earlier and my face was so much rounder. And I was just like, it doesn't look like I lost a lot of weight till I see a video from me from a year ago. And so if you're not consistent, just get back on track. Sometimes you're going to lose your consistency, and that's all right. Just get back on track. Do you think the finale of Stranger Things it better? I think the internet's going to tear them a new one if they do not get this right. You've wasted 10 years of our lives. Like I said, you only get one strike to have a what the hell was that about? Your what the hell about moment was when Will came out and said he was gay. We still don't understand the point of this. We were just like, what this got to do with saving the world? What? And also, they put this in theaters. You wasted our $20. Now, I don't thank God I live very, very, very close to where I'm going. So I'll be home in about 20, 30 minutes. But not some people are coming from Brooklyn, Queens, da da da. I made sure I didn't waste no money on the outfit. I got the stuff out my house. But still, $20 freaking dollars. It's freezing today. This better be good. I could be watching the Netflix with you. One of the things my mom always told me is nobody is sitting around thinking about you, which is very true because I used to really care what people don't ever listen. Even your friends or not sometimes they're your friends. Um if you're a dreamer and you start to elevate, they're going to find a way to drag you down. This is friends, family, and associates. Don't worry about what people think of you. I get criticized for being too fill in the blank, too fat, too old, too this, too that. How dare you? You're not pretty enough. This, that, and the third. I do not care. My Delulu record speaks for itself. If you think you have something to bring to the table, bring it to the freaking table. Like, I'm a whole different generation. I represent a different generation. Like, in other words, like, you can't be too old if that generation still exists. Like, what are we talking about? There's some people that are like 20, 30, 40 years older than me doing their thing on social media. So inspiring to see what this looks like. So, but don't get it twisted. People are going to say, how dare you? And it's just because they don't have the courage to do it themselves. Do not worry about other people's. I get more jabs from friends than anybody. I don't take it personal because it's just like you got a lot of audacity, Trish. Yes, I do. I've always been this girl. Always. Like, are you kidding me? I'm not cocky. It's just I have enough confidence to believe that I have something special. We all have something special, but then you let other people get in your head. Like, I think I would have been way more successful on YouTube if I didn't let quote unquote my friends get in my head when I first got into the space. And I used to make way more money. So I graduated college in 2010. I was making good money like in 2012, 13. And then everybody except my mom, rest in peace, was like, oh my God, why are you doing this? All my friends who stuck with it, they're all making money. All of them. And the ones who didn't, me and a handful of us, we're back, elevators down to the right, bathrooms to the left, and customer service instead of just doing our own thing. Don't let people get to you. Like, I do let people get to me, but not anymore. I was like, no. Oh, I read that one. It's definitely okay. I gave her the Will's sexuality reveal. I have no issues with him being gay, but the time it was weird. It was just like, what does gotta do with any? We all knew he was gay. Let's start there. The actor's gay. We knew the character was gay. What did we gain from this? It was just so weird. And that was the big reveal of volume 2. Now, if this came out in 1987 for real, this would have been the episode of all episodes. Remember when Ellen DeGeneres came out as gay and the whole world lost because it wasn't popular to come out gay yet. Everybody was counseling her. F you, Ellen. No. You're saying this in 2025. We're looking at you like, what? Who cares? What? Like, it's so normalized now. What? What was the point of this? And I mean, I grew up in, like I said, I was a kid in the 80s. I do remember to the relative who had to stay in the closet their whole life. Even to this day, they don't feel comfortable coming out because people made the things that happened when we were kids. If people said you were gay, was actually cruel. Like, cruel. They used to use the F word a lot. Rhymes with maggot. It would just hit. It would hit with so much like hate. And so I do remember that. In 2025, it doesn't hit the same. There are people who still hate gay people. But it's not like it was back then. It doesn't hit as much because it's a different time. I don't know. I love Robin's coming out. I felt that was done organically. That was organic. And have you noticed Robin's not really out? Back in the 80s, when people came out, they were selective who knew about it. And they would do things very sneakily. Very sneaky. Again, I'm not sure what was the point of this. It didn't have the same impact it's not going to have the same impact in 2025. Some people don't even, yes, I think there still is unspoken. It's complicated. Like I said, I don't want to like word it wrong, because like I said, there's someone in my life I love dearly that's in my family. I know there's still issues. So I can't speak on it because I'm not gay. But I don't know. Like, when you be like, I get it, but it was like, it's not like the Ellen DeGeneres era, or when people were like getting canceled for coming out. You know what I'm saying? You have to live your life unapologetically. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Especially if you're doing something that's hard. What fill in the blank, even healing yourself, that's hard. It is. I'm gonna be honest, I'd rather stay fat on this couch and watch TV and not do this whole hustle and just live a simple life. But one, I'm a workaholic, and workaholics, they just love to be busy. Two, according to my doctor, my obesity has finally caught up with me. So I have to make a change. Even if I don't want to, I have to, or else. And I don't know. I feel like my life is brighter now that I got off the couch, stopped, eating my feelings away, being proactive. I still make less than $1,000 a year on YouTube, but I'm having the time of my life, man. That's all that matters. It's a journey. And honestly, there have been some awesome things that happened for me in the last couple of weeks. Like I said, I'll talk about the partnership officially in about a day or two. And you never know. You never know who's watching. No, I didn't see, I don't even know what that is. Team Tag and Go. But Trisha, honestly, homophobia still exists. Absolutely, in most societies and continents. It does matter, and there is a group of people that can resonate to what happened the other day. But it just didn't have the impact. I don't know, maybe because I remember it being way crazy. Like, they used to kill people in New York for being gay. And I can imagine what they were doing down south. And yes, it still happens, especially in other countries. I know in the most Caribbeans, you can't come out. I think I understand why they did it. It just didn't have the impact that I think they were expecting, because it's just like, okay. But think of all the people that paved the way for people to be comfortable. Whether you agree or not with that is not the situation. It's about showing love. Like in church, like, we are always taught to show love, no matter what we agree or disagree. And you should be like that. Like, you shouldn't. My decisions have nothing to do with you, and yours have nothing to do with me. Now, if I am no, this is a real story though. I did have a situation where someone's preference was an issue, because one of my male gay friends liked my boyfriend at the time, then told me they liked my boyfriend. And I knew he was trying to get at my boyfriend. And at first I was upset, because I was just like, how dare you? But then I was like, if my boyfriend decides to hook up with you, the real issue is, one, my boyfriend cheated on me, and that my boyfriend might be bisexual or gay. But it still didn't make me like have an issue with the guy who professed his crush on my boyfriend. But at the same time, I was just like, it's like when a girl professes that she likes your boyfriend, you're like, wait a minute, you're going to try to get with him? Are you trying to warn me? The answer is probably yes. But it's just like, No, my issue would be, is my boyfriend going to cheat on me? With a male or female, it doesn't matter. If you cheat on me, that's a real issue. So I don't know. But no, like, again, maybe because my baby, my baby is openly gay. One of my babies, I won't say which one. I'm not gonna out my family. My biggest fear is somebody will harm them. Um, you know, those are the things I just be like, you better not harm my baby because you don't agree with what he does. Like, that's, what are we doing? But I don't know. It's one of those things, like, we have to be comfortable with not always agreeing with other people's decisions. It's one of those things, like, come with love. If you feel like something's wrong or right or whatever, I've been really, like, big on pushing good health. That is my thing lately. That's the thing, cross that I carry. Some people be looking at me like, shut up, but doesn't mean that you have to eat healthy. It's just, I'm just trying to share my passion with you. When it comes to the gay community, it's challenging, especially growing up in a church environment. I would say my church does handle it with love, but I've been in situations where something wasn't said in love, and it was just really, it was tough to hear. And I say it as a straight woman. I'm like, oh, um, I don't know. When it comes to that particular subject, I struggle with it. I've even, like, asked tough questions to my pastors and leaders about it. It's tough because, like I said, there are people in my family I know since they were kids they were gay, and it's complicated. I feel like that's a complicated topic for me, because you're raised one way, but then you see things in your own family, and you're just like, it's challenging for those who grew up in religious households. You know what I mean? It's tough. It's tough, but you always approach people with love, no matter what. No matter what, man. We all need to feel safe as humans, and that's it. We need to, like, make people feel safe being humans, and we don't. Whether we're black, whether we're gay, whether we're women, whatever, make people feel comfortable for being human. And I think I'll leave that there, because I can't speak on it. I'm not gay, but like I said, I've seen some crazy things when I was little, man. Stuff is hurtful. So, oh my gosh, it's almost 4 in the morning, 3:30. Well, thank you guys for this. Really, I thought it was going to be a 30-minute discussion. Was there more to the slide? Let me see. No. Oh, will you cancel your tickets? Well, honestly, none of y'all got tickets. But I still will be going, just because if this is trash, I'm going in. See, I feel like my next decade, it would be taken normally, but it's a long shot. Well, it's a complicated thing. That's what I said. I'm not touching it only because it's like me speaking about being a white person. I'm not white. Like this one topic, all I can say is it's complicated. And especially because of my upbringing, I know, just to, like, step off of this. Like, I feel like I'm on a stepping mine right now. But like I said, I'm one of those people, if I don't understand something or why something is said, I would like to know why, and leave it there. But yeah, I was like, I can't speak on it at all. Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's still a personal choice, right? And so, yeah, And I think like and this goes with especially like politics. Like right now, the hate people have for who you voted for, bruh. Listen, not everybody that voted for the current president is racist. Like that, you can't put everybody in a box that way. You can't. You can't. It's like that's really stupid. Like not stupid, but I just feel like you can't. People voted for different reasons for our current leader. And I'd be honest, this was a tough vote. Let's keep this real. Like, like chill out. Like, there's no need to like start stabbing each other for this stuff. Like, but we need to get better candidates, period. On both sides, period. Like, this is not a one size fits all, right? It's been a really divisive year now that I think about it. It's like, what? It's crazy. How did I feel? I felt like it was just forced. What it felt like it was a forced message to like we need to accept gays, and I'm like, but we already do accept gays. We have Robin in the building. What are we talking about? So it just felt like Robin felt like an organic coming out versus Will's. Will's just felt like, and it's funny. He's like, everybody has to tell you, and we're like, what? So I thought he was going to say, Vanna can read my mind. And Mike, I love you and your life is in danger. And I don't love you like a brother. I love you like more. And I need you to leave this town because your life is in danger. Because he knows if you get harmed, it's going to destroy me. That made more sense. What was the point of this? I was just like, so Mike is not in danger? So what was the point of this? What? It felt weird. It just felt weird. I was just like, what was the point of that? We're already representing a gay figure with Robin and her girlfriend. So what was the he showed me a future where you guys are not going to talk to me. That's called life. Your teenage/college friends are not going to usually be the people that are in your life 20, 30 years from now. That's life. That has nothing to do with you being gay. Okay. I was confused. I was like, what the hell? I would like to know what was the point of that. Like, is anyone's life in danger? Like, I didn't get this. Right? Like, make it make sense. I know. I'm so look, I didn't want to get to it. This listen, next year I hope to have membership so we could talk about stuff like this, because I feel like, ugh. It's like, if you want to know what I really said. Will coming out didn't really match the vibe or of the whole series. The writing was normally, the writing was giving me like, hi, this is my first year out of college. I'm so excited to be here. All right, so we're going to have a scene. Will, you're going to sit down, your friend, you're going to cry your eyes out, and there's going to be no logical reason for you coming out. All right, and sing. And then I found it was 10 hours for them to shoot it. The acting, I'm being honest, y'all should have put in maybe another 2 hours, or maybe just do a whole different day. Like maybe people were exhausted. Noah was not quite hitting the mark on everything. Now the brother crying, that felt organic. And then have you noticed everybody on the couch had that look? It was the same look when one of my relatives came out. They had that look like, we've been known, but okay. But everybody was still polite, like, what are we doing? Ah, God. Yeah. Robin was very organic, and even how she goes about it's organic. Again, this is Indiana. This is not San Francisco. This is not New York. It's not Miami. It's not California. Coming out in Indiana, 1987, we're going to do more of a Robin. Very small circle's going to know about it, and that circle's going to keep their mouth shut. Robin, only Steven knows, and I think maybe one other person who saw it by accident in the hospital. That's it. That's a 80s outing. That's as good as it gets. And then Robin knows in 2 to 3 decades from now, she could have or she will relocate where she may not be persecuted. Because I'm telling you, I remember those things you would hear the adults say about, other people that may not be straight back then. No, we do not. And I really felt like organically Robin was a better situation if you wanted representing someone that was gay. It was just, I remember when Steve professed his crush on her and she's like, no, you're barking up the wrong tree. And they had this little secret, and eventually she got a girlfriend and they snuck around the hot, like, to this day, you can tell Mike likes freaking Will. So I'm like, again, is Mike's life in danger because Will clearly is crushing on him? Because the chemistry between 11 and Mike is just, ugh. Oh my God. Mike and 11's chemistry has been off since Elle has moved away. This is when when she moved away and then she was being bullied by those girls. And I don't like their chemistry anymore at all. And remember the first season, you could just tell he loved everything about her. I was like, ugh, this is awkward. This is one casting where the chemistry did not carry on all the seasons. You could just tell things have changed. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was personal or just whatever. Maybe they wanted the scene to be different than other shows, like breaking the norm of the closed circle coming out. I guess. I feel like he needs to explain it because we're all talking about it. It's a big thing. We're just like, what was the point of this, bro? We're mad nobody died, and we're mad of his random outing. And then when he tried to explain it, like, have you ever been drunk? And you tried, like, something comes out the mouth and it wasn't meant to come out. So then you realize in your drunk state of mind that, well, now I need to explain the silly thing that just came out. And I was just like, dude, just take the L. It's not relevant to feeding the upside down. Like I'm confused. Yeah. Yeah. And it is a very sensitive subject. And like I said, not everybody comes out. It's even in 2025. So the whole cast pretty much being there, here's Max barely able to walk. If I could, she's probably sitting here like, I've been in a coma to come out to this. I didn't know he was gay. I make a deal with God. Like, what was the point of this? What do you think what do you think about finale? Honestly, I don't know what to expect. According to, because I did see a couple of reviews before I went live, they said the play has Easter eggs. So but clearly they're not sticking to the play, but there's like some Easter eggs there where they're going to really focus more on Harry or Henry. That's not Henry or Harry. So you think it's going to die in the finale? Oh, I got that slide for you. Boom, boom, boom. The minimum 2 of these 5 people, 11, 8, Dustin and Steve, and Hopper. Those, I don't know who you think is going to die. Someone got to die. Someone has to die. If you want me to cry like a river, then touch Dustin and Steve. Those are the only 2 I love still. I love these 2. Do you think Biner or is the end game? I don't know. That's a good question. That is a good question. Don't know. Oh my God, I live like in a semi-hood. Why are they blasting music like it's freaking New Year's? Oh, it is New Year's Eve, but not really. It's like, what? And then now we got these expensive buildings around us. So could you imagine paying $5,000 to be in the hood? Good luck, y'all. I live in the Heights. I live near the Heights area of the city. If you guys like Google where we're at in New York, it's all these expensive luxury buildings in the middle of I live in an old building. So my rent is way cheaper than theirs. But I'm like, you getting that ghetto experience. Oh man. Who came up with the Byler and who came up with this terminology? You gotta love the internet though. It's always constantly blending stuff together. Shoot. I will say this. I don't think none of the Willers are gonna die at all. They staying. I said once you let that mama live twice. Like what would be more realistic that maybe one of those dogs would, I don't know. I just feel like for a situation that's so dangerous, how are y'all all still alive? You guys are smarter than most, but not. Come on, what are we talking about? Like, are you walking around with fire torches all day? Like, what are we doing? Let me see. Mike and Will. Well, but Mike didn't say he was gay. This is one-sided. Even though, my God, body language is saying, I don't want to be with Elle anymore. I'll tell you that much. You think so? I know that Dustin and Steve and Hopper aren't going to die because there are pictures of all 3 of them alive and well. No way. I don't care. Oh, I don't care about the spoiler. I just need someone to die. It could be anybody. I mean, my personal vote. Sorry, Jonathan, you gotta go. Don't be a pothead. I'm not even gonna say don't be a pothead, but it's more like I don't know, like I think to me, he was one of the first people to quote unquote check out. Like he was so good in season 1. And I was just like, he just never had that same papa after. And then like, for the most part, everyone pretty good with the acting. Season 5, let's just say some of you guys are blessed. You better make sure you put your money away for a rainy day. Or some of you guys might have to get some acting classes for how to act as an adult, because as children, they crushed it. Some of them, good luck. I mean, kudos to them though. Like this has been a cool series. I'm happy I got to watch it. This was water cooler talk. You know, like I work with a lot of young people, especially when this came out. And they were like, "Watch it, Trish, watch it." I'm still hyped for sure. So hyped for the finale. You think the Mon Flyers will be there? Mon Flyers. I don't know if I'm familiar with the will terminology, but the Byler. But do you think the Mind Flyers will be there? What is that? Mind Flyers. Stranger Things. Oh, hell yeah. But have you guys noticed in general, my opinion, we got better effects and more of a like scary presence in the earlier days of Stranger Things. What's that freaking saying? Less is more? I'm like, we was taken care of like I really have not gotten like y'all spent a lot of money. I feel like most of the money went to like the actors, licensing. I'm like, who knows? They better bring it, and they better bring freaking Thriller, bro. Thriller would eat, yo. If they do Thriller, I'm telling you right now, I'm going to get up and start doing the Thriller dance. I'm going to be that person. They'll be like, Auntie, sit down. Yes. And no one's really bringing up the Michael Jackson thing but me, but maybe because I'm an MJ fan, but I'd be like, there is a hint that Thriller song's going to get dropped because Spotify did have Rockin' Robin and Thriller on it, according to another TikToker, and now it's gone. And then one guy had found the Thriller album in the Stranger Things area, and I'm like, it wasn't like a random album. It was legitimately the whole stack. And I'm like, oh, someone messed up. Like, how many times toys reveals let us know that something exists. It was like, oh, the toy launch messed it up. Someone messed up that display. Why would Thriller be in the middle of Stranger Things? Like, what are we talking about? Michael better be there. Everything better be there. The stakes need to be higher. You know, like I said, the whole thing with Nancy and Jonathan, when the demonic glue was melting or the metal was melting, they should have been I wanted them to get like saturated with that stuff and be stuck in a position with that white glue. Rest in peace, Nancy. Rest in peace, Jonathan. Where's the stakes here, bro? You have a whole room melting around you, and then you unpropose, and then like it just stopped for no reason. What? Dumb. What just happened? What year does season 5 takes place? 1987, the year Michael Jackson Bad came out. We better have Michael. That would be funny. Michael Keaton Batman reference. That's funny. They had some excellent references. They said there was a couple of mishaps. Like, for example, there was a scene, I'm not sure if it was this season, where they were showing polka dice. It's this movie that came out back in the days, but it was on the television. That was actually this season. And they were like, it would never be in television. It was still in theaters. So little discrepancies like that. But, you know, I was like, dude, when you're doing a period piece, you got to do research, but you're going to make mistakes. It is what it is. All's forgiven. But you know what's not forgiven? The fact that nobody died. Make it make sense. I was like, nobody died? Nobody? Listen, how would y'all feel if Max was crossing over to her body and they found a way to kill her? It's realistic. That would piss people off. I'm like, I would be devastated, but that would make me pissed. Don't touch Karen. We love Karen. And like I said, like I'm not really feeling her at all. I love Bobby, but not this season, man. She been checked out. So I don't know. To the random scene here. Okay. But that's it for now. I don't think I'm gonna have a presentation for the New Year's Eve one. Realistically, I probably won't be home until midnight because now this is going to be more like 3 hours instead of 2. And I already know I can't get an Uber on New Year's Eve in New York. It's impossible, but I'm relatively close. I should be home soon. I think someone said they're doing a spinoff. It's possible, but what do they call them? The brothers, the Duffel brothers, or whatever the name is, they're leaving Netflix. They're gone. They could still do a spinoff, but I don't know how that works if someone is like the creator of something. And I think one of the rumors is it's going to be Nancy. I think that's why they had made her single. The way they position Holly is interesting. I feel like Holly has been highlighted really nice for a rando. So I don't know. I like Derek. Derek definitely stole the show. You know how I like too Erica. Erica's really good. I love Steve. Steve can have a spinoff. Dustin can have a spinoff. Who knows? They're probably going to do a spinoff because it's like 10 years. I even got Stranger Things watch. I don't know if I'm going to keep it. Oh, here it goes. The Stranger Thing watch. I'll let y'all see it first. Where is it? So there. Oh shit! I don't have a light here. It's a Casio. I don't know. I was gonna wear it tonight, but I think I'm gonna do the calculator instead. I have a new calculator watch. I love watches, but I like the watch, but the watch I'm wearing tonight I like better. So I'm like, I just might get my money back. I was like, But if there's any spinoffs, have you guys heard who might get a spinoff? Because there's definitely rumors out there, but I'm like, how's that possible if they're leaving Netflix? So, let me see if I can Google that real quick. Stranger Things spin off. Oh, is that confirmed? Yes, a Stranger Things spinoff series is officially confirmed by the Duffel brothers for Netflix, featuring a brand new story cast setting describing as a clean slate in the same universe, but focuses on different characters and mysteries, plus an animated series, Stranger Things Tales from 85 is also confirmed for 2026, returning to Hawkins between season 2 and 3, and more projects planned to expand the universe. What? New stories will be completely different. What? Not following 11 or the original kids, with a fresh tone and approach. New characters, expect an entire new cast in the new location and expanding beyond Hawkins' lore. The Duffel brothers have been working on since season 4, keeping. Oh, so I guess it's really happening. Interesting. I think as long as we're in the 80s, that should be fun. I think that's the appeal of the show. Like, have you noticed things from the 80s do really well, just in general? Out of all the decades, that's the decade everyone goes back to, the 80s. Back to the Future, Star Wars. Like, it was just a fun. Yo, I was there. It was fun. Fun, horrible close, but fun decade, creative decade. Oh, I guess we're getting a spinoff. That's cool. All right, y'all. I'm gonna get a power nap. Even though like I don't mind falling asleep in the theater, but I really would like to know how this ends. If anybody is gonna be in the movie theaters, I will reveal where I'll be in a few hours. Stop by. Stop by, chat, get in the B-roll. The 1980s had a ton of imagination and wonder. It did. It's oh my god, it's remember Gremlins. I can't think of everything off my hand, but I just remember when I was a kid, I really loved movies, Goonies, Secret of My Success, Breakfast Club, just everything about the 80s. I just really, really, really liked it. Especially when it comes to film and television. So the music, Cyndi Lauper, Michael Jackson, freaking just the Police sending out an SOS. What? Totally makes sense. It's making great. Yeah, I feel like that group was just unbelievable. Like such a talented era. And it's like some of the stuff did look cheesy, but that's how you know it's good. It can look old and even outdated, but you still appreciate the craftsmanship, the stories, the wonderment, the magic. Um and it actually shows how it was to be a kid then. Like I would say 80s, 90s, 70s kids, they all can relate to like, but 80s was that era where all the electronics are finally coming out. So we got video games now. Remember Tron comes out in this era. It was just different. Arcades. I think that's what makes 80s different. Like from any other decade, all these new technologies are coming out or being featured, and you're just like, oh, this is so freaking cool. Do I have insomnia? Sometimes. I'm surprised I'm actually up. I have a horrible headache right now. The 80s and 90s were the last decades without, yeah. The worst thing I saw this year, I went to a party with an average person was 45 and up. So usually this age group is not known to have the phones. So we're at the birthday party. Mad money was being spent, food, the hall, whatever. I would say 60% of people were on their phone. Again, usually when it's like people way younger, that's the norm. I never seen older people do this. I said, what the hell did we leave our house for? No. Granted, I was guilty too. I think I was working on that TikTok challenge where you have to put something up every single day. But after I put my video up, I put my device away and then I was on the dance floor. So then somebody had got on a mic and they said, "Hi guys, this is a party." That was like, get up and dance. Like, that's crazy. If you ever go to like a New York City, it was an AMC at 42nd Street, they still have an arcade. They still have games there, and so does Lincoln Square. Man, one of my friends, she actually has an arcade in her house. That's actually cool. I was like, oh my God. But I remember we used to go to we used to have our arcade in our area, and we used to all go downstairs, have tournaments, Mortal Kombat tournaments. We used to just have so much fun. And it's like, I kind of feel sad that kids don't know what that is. Like, they have fun, but they don't know how to have fun with the phones now. So I don't know. It's crazy. I'll be like, put your phones down. I have cameras running all the time. If it's something really funny, I'll give you the footage. It's not that deep. Like, put the phones down, please, please, please. But yeah, and I think that's when we watch these old shows. It's just like either we're experiencing what it was like for the first time if you're not from the era, or we're just reminiscing like how things used to be in the 80s. It was very fun. Very, very fun. But I will see you guys in a couple hours. I need to take a power nap and then get ready for this movie. And then I will do a live, even if it's for an hour or two, for the New Year's, bring in the New Year's, maybe hear your resolutions and just, talk about Stranger Things. Y'all better not mess this up. I like the internet. The way y'all went in for volume 2 lets me know they better not mess up at all. At all. Because I was like, I'm not the one. I mean, I'm not going to be mean, but not I. Not I. Oh my gosh. Oh, you skip back. I do remember that era, and I vaguely remember it, but I remember there was just this weird thing with the United States and Russia. Always a topic. And at least then I remember when I was little, we used to be so scared of Russia. Like, oh, there's gonna be a war, this and the third. But I don't remember it enough to be like to speak on it. I just remember that was always a topic that you would hear from time to time. But but I'd be as much honestly, there was bad things that came out of the 80s, but I still remember a lot of the good stuff. Like I remember Times Square was a hot mess, prostitutes and stuff everywhere. And the irony is now I'm always at 42nd Street going to AMC or Regal. Always. Like if you ever see my footage, you'll always notice I'm always in that whole area. I'm always either at Whole Foods or, in that area. I'm like, I'm always over there. There used to be prostitutes there when I was a kid. Have a good night, y'all. Get some rest. We will definitely be back super late, around midnight-ish. I'll work on my thumbnails as soon as I get a nap, and then we can chat some more. Good night. Thank you for making this super fun. Right? I think I still have the t-shirt. Is that part of that campaign with Michael Jackson? We are the world. Is that part of that? I think so. If so, I think I have the shirt. We are the children. Yeah. Too bad it didn't stay that way. Whatever. One day, all the children of the world should be. Good night, y'all. See you in a couple of hours. And if I don't see you, happy freaking New Year! Bye.